If you have been around the Bauxite company and you find out about some of the issues they've been facing, you know that there's been a lot of tension around them. And we want to see how these things can change because the Ghana Bauxite Company produces about 1.4 million tons of bauxite every year. And if we look at how this is good for the nation, you know that if we don't solve these issues and prevent them from occurring, it might do some harm to the nation. Now, for those of you who knew about these tensions, you know it's around those Ghana Bauxite Company at Awaso, which is Bibiani and Shiaso, Bekwai district. It's at Bibiani and Shiaso, Bekwai district, and this is in the western and north region of the country. Now, most of these have been around some investors who have decided to pull out of the company after certain things were not going well for them. Um, there's a certain Bosai Minerals Group from China which have been very instrumental in the bauxite company. They had about 80% stake in the company, but they sold out their shares after they initially made out the statement that they wanted to pull out. Now, there were some issues about a non-renewal of the mining lease of the Ghana Bauxite Company, which was supposed to expire in January 9th the next year, that's 2022. Now, after this, there has been some little uneasiness among those 700 workers in the bauxite company because they are wondering what's going to be the next step, the future of their jobs and the rest has come to their plight. So they want to know how to go about this. But before we even go ahead, can't we have local investors who are strategic enough to bring some goodness to the bauxite company? Must we always have to look at foreign investors for such stuffs to be kept on board? And what is the main reason why the lease was not renewed like people expected them to? You get it? So this was the main reason why the investing company, that Bosai Minerals Group, decided to pack out because there was not a renewal of the mining lease. Now, what can we do as locals to keep this from being a problem? Because many people in the Awaso areas depend largely on the mine. You get it? And if they are not getting any funds or if they have to be laid off due to such problems, then that means there's going to be an increase in unemployment. Get it? Now, there has been some issues which have been developing in the past, but it's been on and off. It's not really something that has been seen as problematic, but currently we are trying to find out how to prevent those issues too from going helter skelter. Now, if you look at even problems with the heavy capital outlay, you'd realize that these things have been sort of being kept under for a long time. Some numbers have been accumulating, and certain people are wondering when these numbers will be seen to. You get it? Some workers have been calling on the government to find other strategic investors as soon as possible so that they could go ahead with work. And others also have been asking if the process could be made easier for them, for them to sort of receive some sort of packages in the times that the company is not being productive. So this is the issues that many have been addressing. But if you have been following, you know that there was even a crisis meeting um, about such occurrences. You know, when you look at when these investors came in, they came in 2010. That's like 10 years ago. When they came in, the Bauxite company was making a loss of around 11, 11 million United States dollars, and that was huge. But after the investors came, things changed, and then the company was making more wins than losses. Even in 2019, we found out that they made a profit of $4 million, and even 6 million in 2020. So when you look at this, you'll be able to see that production has increased from 600,000 tons to around 1.4 million tons. Well, you know that bauxite is one of those things that move the economy. Look at the number of nations who we are exporting to, and also look at how we ourselves are using it in the nation Ghana. So if we do our best to get the right solution around this bauxite issues, we could continue moving forward. Now, when the investors decided to exit, there was a certain board of directors which held a meeting at the premises at Awaso with management and leaders of these workers' unions. The meeting to some did not go well, not only because of the bad news, but because they didn't get the solutions they expected to. But there were other representatives at the meeting that felt, well, there was still hope in the future if things were done properly. Um, Present at the meeting were the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation, who is also known as GIADEC. GIADEC, yeah. Now, the Member of Parliament for Bibiani and Shiaso Bekwai of the MPP, Mr. Alfred Obeng Boateng, and his officials were also present, and some officials also from the Ghana Mine Workers Union, GMWU, were also at this meeting. Now, we also had the director of the political affairs at the office of the chief of staff at the presidency, Mr. Frank Isiedu Bekoy. He was also at the meeting, and he was seeing how things were going on and taking statements from different representatives. But he assured workers of the government's commitment of sustaining the operations of the GBC, which is not surprising because government will definitely do its part to ensure that the bauxite company does not become a liability to the nation. Get it? This is one of the ways the government will have to get funds for moving the economy. So there are definitely no other ways that would come aside government doing his part. But then, aren't we going to see if there will be some private sectors that could be of help? I mean, who are the local investors who are also good at such stuff? Are we not going to try our best to look in these areas to see how we can be of help? Sometimes there are things that we fail to do as a nation that makes these problems gigantic. For one, we think that when the Chinese investors, uh, came on board, they did a good job. But how come we couldn't learn their methods and see what they were doing differently that was moving the company forward? These are some of the things we can be doing to avoid such losses. Let's learn from them. Definitely, it's not their presence alone that changed things, but their works and how they were going about things. I'm sure it wasn't money alone. So let's look at how they go about their stuff. How do they go about doing things that we, the indigenous people, can learn and then also pass forward to those who would be employed and to those who would be interested in working around the bauxite company. If there are things or equipment that have been used by these people that are special to them, you can also try to get those ones to continue to facilitate the work around the bauxite company. We need to reach a point where we look at those who are helping us and we adapt and get some of their methods instead of only trying to get them as people. If we are able to get the methods and the capital needed to do that, definitely would be able to do something. Maybe we'll not be able to do it to their expertise, but will not be in a point where we'll have to struggle for too much help. So it's what we've been discussing. Let's find out the ways to make things work the way these investors were making them work. It could even be the way they even speak, the way they handle certain issues. You get it? And we could change things for the nation. But for us to always expect the people to be the solution, then we'd be cutting ourselves short. Because like human beings, no one is predictable. Things can change anytime. Get it? Now workers are asking to be paid some packages to keep them from drying out in their lives. There was a certain chairman of the union, the workers union, Mr. Emmanuel Sinshia, who called on the government to help put some measures in place to help these workers. He made it clear that these payments of packages will not be in the interest of the majority of the staff. It was necessary to them. For now, they are looking at those workers that are outsourced because they will lose their jobs and go home with nothing. When you compare it to those that are inside, there will be a little goodness for those people. This issue had occurred before with some people in the BBNE gold mines, and there's no too much difference with it. So it's what we are looking at right now. Now, with the way the things are looking like right now, the government owns the remaining 20% shares on the GBC. But what would happen to the 80? Would they like to take all on its own? Will it be allowed for government to take the rest of the 80%, or will they give it out to others to have shares in it? You get it? So we are looking at whether maybe the Bauxite Minerals Group will give the GAIDEC the first opportunity to purchase the shares. The representatives of GAIDEC that were present at the meeting refused to speak about certain issues because they didn't want to make any mistakes with speech. But they were looking at whether they would be allowed to be responsible for some difficulties. So they decided to keep some things rather low. So let's see what will happen. We hope that the best will come out of all these issues, and would also learn from them instead of just pointing fingers at what is the cause for the troubles that are being faced there. Leave your comment in the section below. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.